Yesterday was my birthday. A week or so ago, I reminded my partner of 10 months about it and asked him if he was free to celebrate with me. I know he has certain days with his son from a previous relationship, so I wanted to check ahead of time and was prepared to make alternative plans if not. Not only was he free, but he said, "Leave it to me, I'll handle it." We discussed different activities I would enjoy doing, and honestly, I was excited at the prospect of having someone else plan something for me as I had spent my last birthday alone. Cut to the day of my birthday, and my partner gives me a gift, says happy birthday, and then tells me he's going out. He has to run an errand for his mum, but will be back later to do something in the afternoon. It dawned on me that he hadn't booked anything specific, but okay, maybe we can do something last minute. It gets to 5 p.m. and I receive a message with a screenshot of some verbally abusive texts he had received from the mother of his child saying he was having a nightmare of a day. I gathered from the details in the screenshot that he would be spending the day with his son and not celebrating my birthday with me. For context, my partner's ex had been denying access to his son for a few days, and I guess he took the opportunity to see his son while he could. My partner came home at 8:30 p.m., no apology or even acknowledgement of the change in plans. He began talking to me about starting a legal battle for his son, something we have discussed before. I was upset and told him I was angry at him for his lack of communication, and that I could have arranged something with a friend or family if I had known he wouldn't be there instead of spending the day alone. I'm new to dating someone with a child, and understand his son is my partner's top priority, but am I the idiot for arguing with my partner about this and not being more empathetic to his situation? Edit. This is about the communication around spending the day with his son, not about the fact that my partner spent time with him. I love his son, we get on great, and my partner is an excellent father. I can't edit the title. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. He didn't plan anything even though he told you, "I got this." He dedicated his morning to doing an errand for his mom, which turned into half the day. Then later at 5 p.m., he texts you screenshots, and you have to guess if that means he will be with his son because he didn't communicate it. Then he comes home ignoring that he planned nothing for your birthday and bailed on you first for an errand, and then for his son. Nothing wrong with needing to drop everything for his son, but all of his actions before and after his son show that he did not value your time, your birthday, your feelings, and had no consideration for how you feel. How hard would it have been for him to stop and grab you at least a cupcake and throw a candle in it when he showed up at night? Anything, something small to acknowledge you in any way. Does he expect you to contribute financially in this legal battle he intends to start for his son? And does he have childcare already figured out if he ends up with 50-50 or full custody? He doesn't sound like a planner or someone who is considerate of others' time, and that usually doesn't get better when you add a child into the mix. Not the idiot, and you're only 10 months in the relationship. I'd be looking for an exit if I were you, or at least making an exit strategy if his inconsiderate behavior continues, or if you don't even get a freaking apology. Comment 2. When I read the headline, I was thinking I would proclaim you TA. But upon reading the scenario, you are not the idiot. Where your boyfriend messed up is in his lack of communication to you, you are correct. While emergencies happen, and you can be understanding, he could have alerted you about the situation sooner. And when he came home, he should have been apologizing profusely and offering to take you to dinner the next night. That said, he might have been very stressed out about the situation with his son that day, and therefore not acting his best self. So, now that you have explained how you feel, and hopefully he understands, he probably deserves a second chance to make it up to you. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's not so much about not spending the day with you, but just sending you screenshots of the conversation and then nothing. He could have called, said, "So sorry, but my ex is letting me see my son today. I'll make it up to you." Or anything else that resembles an apology and feeling bad he had to go back on his word to do something for your birthday, but he didn't. This is not good for the rest of your relationship. Of course, his kid should come first always, but it doesn't mean that he can treat you like a doormat or like an afterthought. Now, for the next story. Most waitress jobs have an application, so you can see your shifts and pick up extra ones. You can see who else is working what shifts and can also send messages on this app. This is important for later. So at my last job, I allowed others to text my number so they can ask me to pick up shifts. This became annoying because I was the first person they asked, and it was always an emergency. They would start using my number for personal conversations, and it sometimes got messy because someone would vent to me and then try to continue the conversation in the workplace, causing drama to follow. So now at my new job, I've decided to keep my work and personal life separate, and I would only communicate through the app. Now keep in mind, I'm still really new to the place. I've barely been there a month, and I've already had people texting my number. I'm not sure if they're getting it from the app or someone at the restaurant asking me to pick up their shifts. Usually a quick, "I don't communicate work matters through my number. Please send me a message through the app," gets them to stop. Not this time. A coworker texted me at 5 a.m. on Friday, asking if I could take her shift for Saturday. I shoot her the line I send everyone. She starts texting like, "Oh, it'll only take a second. This way is just faster." I reiterate I will not communicate through my number and to message me through the app. She continues with, "But you're already here, and I've already asked, so just take my shift." Now, I was already working that Saturday night, so not only is she asking me to take her shift, she's asking me to work a double. I send her the line again. She says that it's an emergency and that she needs me to cover her shift. I tell her I'm not discussing it any further and that I'm already working Saturday anyways. I then block her number, I go to work, and am approached by a manager. She asks me why I didn't show up that morning. I'm confused, so she tells me that the coworker said I had agreed to take the shift. I show her the messages. She says okay and goes to the back office. I get angrily approached by the coworker on Monday about how I said I'd take the shift, and now she has a write-up because I didn't show. She has a write-up for no call, no show. I told her I agreed to nothing, and even told her I don't use my number to swap shifts. Conversation goes as so, coworker, "But you said you'd work Saturday." Me, "No, I said I already work on Saturday." Coworker, "Then why didn't you say anything when I thanked you for taking it?" Me, "'Cause I blocked you. I didn't even see that message." She starts going off about how I'm so rude and inconsiderate, and she just needed me to take one shift. I told her it's not my problem, she didn't get her shift covered. So I know I'm not the idiot for not taking her shift. But did I take it too far when I blocked her instead of just answering through text? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot for blocking her, if that's what you want to know. I work in tech, and if I see people reaching out to me on my personal number or email or something, I would report them to HR. Work is work in any field. If there is no app in the first place, it is okay to reach out to you on your personal number, I would assume. But she can't do that. And if she saw you blocked her, which actually becomes very evident after sending a message after getting blocked, she should have known. But I'm kind of thinking that maybe giving her a proper response very strongly would have been better. You did say you don't want to communicate outside the app. You did say you are already working on Saturday. But maybe saying that you will not be taking her shift, just to be extra clear, would have been better. I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe that lady just ignored and thought she'll just dump the blame on you. So I don't think you're wrong. Not the idiot. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your coworker lied to management and just assumed you would be bullied into doing her work for her after you repeatedly said no, and she was trying to do it where there's less of a paper trail. Hugely unprofessional, fireable in my opinion. Someone like that doesn't sound like a team player, but a bully who is only going to cause more issues in the future and who has shown she'll lie to management to try to get her way and potentially endanger you and your job. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You told your coworker 4 times to communicate through the work app. There's only so much you can do to get someone to understand when they just don't want to understand. Now, for the next story. I, female in my 30s, have a friend named Ashley, also female in her 30s. Ashley and I have been friends since we were 13. We drifted apart after high school but stayed in touch. Ashley is disabled. She has fibromyalgia. We planned to go on a short vacation together to the city, which was Ashley's idea. We planned this over a year in advance and planned to stay for 3 nights. The actual vacation was okay, but I found being around Ashley stressful. She overpacked extremely. She brought 7 outfits, different types of hair dryers, and a bunch of other stuff that just wasn't needed, and was always complaining about how heavy her bags were. She insisted on going for long walks through the city, but then would get tired and say we needed to get a taxi home as she couldn't walk back. The last straw for me was when Ashley had a full-on meltdown at the station. I walked her to the station. I wasn't getting the train back. We live in completely different areas. We got to the desk, and she asked the staff if there was a wheelchair available she could use, as she was struggling to walk any further to get to her platform. They said they were all being used and asked if she booked assistance. She hadn't, and they told her a chair should be available in around an hour. Ashley lost her cool and yelled at them and said that she was going to miss her train, and she sat on the floor. I tried to calm her down, but there was just no use. She was very insulting and called them names. It was so embarrassing. I stayed with Ashley, and eventually the manager arrived with the chair. He helped Ashley, and she went home. 2 days after we got home, Ashley asked me if I'd be down for a similar vacation next year. I told her no thanks. I tried to explain to her that I think after our experience it's better if we don't vacation together. Ashley is now angry with me and said I'm being ableist, but I struggle to put up with how disorganized she is in regards to her own needs. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. As someone who has lupus and something called Ehlers-Danlos, I understand what she is going through. Her behavior is not okay on any level. She can pack appropriately. I can pack clothes for myself and my 2 girls for a 3-4-day trip in my backpack. I do it regularly for medical appointments. Sashon, if one of us is struggling, the rollator comes along. It's a walker with a seat and 4 wheels. It's not being ableist to want to enjoy a vacation. It's narcissistic behavior to think you have a right to throw a temper tantrum at her age because she didn't plan appropriately and thinks everyone owes her. No one owes her anything because she's disabled. Comment 2. Not the idiot. I don't think you not wanting to travel with her is about her disability, but more about having differing travel styles. She seems like someone who does not think ahead very well. If you had a friend with the same health issue who packed properly, knew their physical limits, asked for assistance ahead of time, and wasn't rude to people, you would probably be great travel partners. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You aren't refusing to vacation together because of your friend's disability. You simply aren't vacation compatible. There are very few people I will vacation with because we simply don't want to go to the same places and do the same things. I would be at a complete loss with someone who brought 2 hairdryers with her. You two can be good friends but not vacation friends. Now, for the next story. I, 15-year-old male, live with my mom, 61-year-old female, and dad, 65-year-old male. My mom has 3 children from her previous marriage: Jack, 29 years old, Cherry, 27 years old, and Kent, 28 years old. Their dad died 18 years ago. I was born a year after my mom got remarried to my dad. My half-siblings never really saw me as a brother. They would not acknowledge me at family events like Christmas parties or any time. They would always ignore me. I tried to talk to them, but they would always find a way to talk to someone else, or just ignore me. They would always acknowledge my cousins, but never me. I was always distant in family photos. My half-siblings would always show affection to my cousins, who are the same age as me, and bring them gifts, but I was always left out. Even my aunts and uncles ignored me. My parents never really tried to encourage them to be warmer to me, and that hurts. Cherry had her engagement party a couple days ago. I was looked at weirdly by the guests because they never knew she had another brother other than Jack and Kent. Her fiancé, Mark, tried to engage in a conversation with me saying, "I never knew Cherry had a younger brother." I felt uncomfortable and hurt talking to him because it hurts knowing I was never seen as family by her. I told him to please not talk to me anymore because I didn't want to intrude on my sister's life. He tried to reassure me that it wouldn't be a problem, and I wouldn't intrude on anything. He told me he always wanted to have a younger brother, and I wouldn't be a problem. I just told him no, and said my sister doesn't consider me as a brother, so you shouldn't consider me as one either. He was hurt by this and tried to comfort me, saying she does see me as a brother, but I just ignored him and left, sitting outside. My mom and dad later scolded me on the drive home for telling that to my sister's fiancé and that she does care about me. Now I'm grounded for a month. My sister later called me saying that I made her fiancé mad at her and I should grow the frick up and forget about the past. I hung up on her and blocked her. I really don't know what to do because I really wanted to have a relationship with Mark because he seems really nice and genuine, but I feel like I don't belong and I get hurt whenever I'm in family events or talking to him. I just can't get over how I was just ignored by them. Am I the idiot? Maybe I acted too much towards Mark and I should have just forgotten about how they treated me. Comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. I don't get the people saying OP was doing the same thing his sister was doing. OP, who again is 15 and has been rejected by his older siblings his whole life, was protecting himself from either having his sister get mad at him for trying to force his way into her family by getting close to her fiancé, or from establishing a bond with someone only to have the sister squash it. The sister and parents are upset because they've been exposed for being the assholes they are. OP did nothing wrong. Comment 2. Not the idiot. If he didn't know your sister had you as a brother, how does he know his fiancé sees you as one? They are upset because their actions or inactions have been shown to an outside party. You weren't rude. You embarrassed them. If I were you, I wouldn't go to the wedding or tell your parents that. It will get you in trouble initially, but it will force them to address how your siblings and they have treated you. My caveat is I do confront issues, though. You seem to as well, from what I've read. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your sister is reaping what she sowed. She was cold to you, so it's natural you'd be cold to her fiancé, as an extension of her. The thing your parents and sister will have to deal with, that is uncomfortable to them, is the fiancé telling his family about this interaction with you, which will make them look like the assholes they are. Also, you're 15. You're a child. The adults in this situation, your sister and especially your parents, should have done better. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day!